Good evening, and welcome to Cool Media. This is Adam speaking. Well, after 16 months, this channel has surpassed 1,000 subscribers. I offer my sincerest thanks to everyone who decided to give my gaming content a chance. As my way of saying thanks, this video will be all about detailing this channel, answering some lingering questions in the process. If there's anything that I don't answer, feel free to drop those questions in the comments or send them to my Twitter. The handle will be at the end of the video. I guess I should say how it got started. It was the beginning of 2020. After writing about gaming for years, I was already thinking about branching into video. However, I found it intimidating. There have been gaming channels since the dawn of YouTube, several of which I still watch to this day, like the Angry Video Game Nerd. It seemed like every avenue had already been explored. What can I possibly add to the conversation? Things changed when the pandemic hit. Not a whole lot changed for me personally, aside from doing a large chunk of my day job from home. For those who don't know, I work as an accountant. However, around March of that year, I noticed that live sporting events were being postponed, leading ESPN and similar channels to switch to airing nothing but news reports and highlight reels. At the gym, I heard guys in the locker room complaining about the lack of live sports. That gave me an idea. Sports video games aren't constrained by human competitors like live sporting events are. Maybe I could provide a substitute for ESPN during the lockdown. I had reason to think I could do it. I am quite possibly the purest sports fan you can find. I enjoy all sports in some way. Amazingly, basketball is the only sport where I have a favorite team, that being the San Antonio Spurs. Even more shocking, I haven't covered a basketball game on the channel yet. I should get on that. Anyway, I've never been that good at playing sports for real. My fitness level has always been barely average. However, I enjoy the thrill of the competition all the same. Being also a gamer since the Atari 2600 era, I've managed to rack up thousands of games, even before factoring in Allie's collection. I'll get to Allie in a minute. I've said in the past that just about every sport is in my games library somewhere. And I'm not joking. The 24 football games in my collection are just the tip of the iceberg. Sure, the common sports like baseball and golf are well represented in my lineup, but I also have lesser known sports like rugby, cricket, lacrosse, and numerous track and field games. I even still have a Kinect hooked up for whenever I feel like playing the Kinect sports games. The 360 ones, I mean. I was definitely smart enough not to get a Kinect for my Xbox One. Moreover, I wanted to give attention to games that are lesser known or forgotten. Anyone can post videos of MLB The Show, Modern Madden, or the newest NBA 2K game. Since my written work on Vocal was primarily about giving attention to forgotten media, I decided to do the same here. Hence, this was why I started with Outlaw Golf 2. Outlaw Golf 2 is my favorite sports game of all time, as well as number 7 on my list of my 100 favorite games ever. It's also one that was largely missed at the time. I wanted my channel to be predominantly retro-focused. By retro, I mean at least 10 years old. Even though I have more modern consoles, aside from the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, I'm not really in a hurry to get them, I do tend to focus on the retro stuff. This expanded into the other non-sports videos I put up. The other big thing on the channel I'm most proud of are the flashback videos. Those are the ones where I went back to the first game in a long-running franchise to see if it still holds up to modern scrutiny. However, I will look at modern games that tend to be ignored, like when I looked at a couple of modern football games as part of my other big series, the Unmaddens. I'm always open to suggestions for other things to cover, but I definitely prefer to look at the off-kilter stuff. Though this is primarily my thing, my significant other of 17 years, Allie, does join in here and there. Not long ago, we enjoyed checking out a trio of fighting games on the Sega Saturn. She even provided the gameplay footage for when I did my Tetris video a while back. While she won't show up all the time because she has her own projects, she will join me for special things. I've already asked her to join me when I do the Psycho Sands finale for Outlaw Golf 2. The only other one who showed up in my videos was our Calico Gracie. Yeah, there was one point where she started crying when I was recording my Evil Dead Halloween special last year. Well, here she is. Cute, isn't she? That leads into a question that I've been asked for a while now. Why don't I appear on camera? Why am I limiting myself to voiceover? Well, it's actually a logistical issue. Here's a picture of how I set up to record in one of my game rooms. That's right, I said one of my game rooms. My gaming equipment is actually set up in two different rooms of my house. In one room, I have the HD setup, which includes a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 4, an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, a Wii U, and a Switch. In the other room, I have the retro stuff consisting of a Retro Duo, that's that one that plays NES and Super Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, a GameCube, an XI, that's that cool thing that can play both Genesis and Sega CD games, a Saturn, a Dreamcast, a PlayStation 2, and an original Xbox. Since I could hook up to either setup at any time, I needed to be able to set up to record quickly and take it apart just as quickly. That would make adding a camera to the mix an absolute headache. On top of that, my recording equipment is not cutting edge. My laptop is rather old, and the recording device is an old Elgato HD60. Yeah, the initial line, not one of the newer models. Those who paid attention know I've had plenty of trouble with recording breakup in my videos. The processors of my laptop are working too hard as it is. Adding a camera will probably make my system blow up. So no, I will not appear on camera. As for what's in the future, well, of course I'm going to finish Outlaw Golf 2. There are 4 tours left to complete, and it will end with playing the Psycho Sands. Of course, in October, absolutely everything else will stop, so I can spend the month playing a horror game for Halloween. Halloween's my favorite time of the year, and I'm not going to miss it. I already have this year's choice in mind. As for what it is, well, you'll see. I have plenty more ideas for Flashback, including going back to the first Call of Duty, Twisted Metal, Far Cry, Zelda, Resident Evil, Need for Speed, and others. I have plenty more of the Unmaddens in the pipeline, including games on the GameCube, the PS2, and even the Wii. Of course, there are plenty more possibilities that I haven't mentioned, but these are the ones off the top of my head. When I started last year, I had no idea I would develop an audience. Thank you so much for giving my channel a chance. The only thing really missing right now is financial benefit. Though the channel has reached 1,000 subscribers, I'm not making any money off my videos since YouTube requires public watch time to be over 4,000 hours over the course of a year before I can monetize my videos. I know, it sucks. This was why Allie pushed me to set up a Patreon. Link is in the description. Now, I'm not expecting to become the next PewDiePie or Markiplier. I enjoy making these videos. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it. Turning the channel into a profitable side racket would just be an added bonus. Thanks for joining me for this celebration. Like what I'm doing? Give a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have any questions I didn't answer or comments? Drop them down below or submit them on Twitter. My handle's right there. Next time I'm starting the 7th tour of Outlaw Golf 2. Stay tuned for a poll to decide who's next. Thank you so much for the support. As always, game on.